Hey guys, so I actually did a sort of a headcanon for which voice actors would you get if we got an animated series adaptation of the Godzilla Kai-Sei era comics from IDW. And I'm going to do them in individual parts here and there because I do not want to make this video longer than it should be. So this will be sort of a quadrilogy, and I might go back to update some things here and there because when I get to Horde of Godzilla, I'll probably have to wait till all 4 of those issues come out. So we're just doing the first 3, like Godzilla, the Dead Zone series, and Starship Godzilla. The characters we've already got so far. Might change it up again when we get Revenge of the Dead Zone and Invasion X and any other installments in Godzilla 2025. So we're starting off with Godzilla, and I actually have a list here of who I could imagine playing these characters. Okay, first up, Jason Braid. Right at the gate, Zeno Robinson. Now, as for why Zeno, well, you need a voice actor who can come off as tough, cocky, but also vulnerable. And seriously, if you go back and watch his role as Hunter from the Owl House, that right there is your perfect voice for Jason. He needs to be someone who's tough, cocky, and vulnerable. That's Jason right there. Hunter's right there. That's Jason. Okay, next is Nuki. Christina Valenzuela, aka Christina V. And she's already been in a Godzilla project. She was Yuko from that Polygon trilogy. Though, honestly, I think that here she could really sink her teeth into that. Like, she'd come off as a bit of a tough girl, but just like Jason, she has this vulnerable side to her. Also, Christina's Spanish-American, so I can imagine her, like, shooting off some Spanish curse words here and there. Stefan, aka Instance, is next. And I can think of no one else but, like, Matt Mercer. Seriously, he could come off as, like, this sort of swarmy, cowardly, try-hard guy. Like, trying to pass himself off as this sort of Italian-American surfer dude. And I think he can pass up pretty well. Now we got that out of the way. Next up is Riviera. And right out of the gate, Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown, like, seriously, I could just picture Clancy Brown doing his Mr. Krabs voice, but with a Texan accent. Because watching Zim, he's basically just Zim from Starship Troopers, but with power armor and has a grudge against Godzilla. Seriously, you look at him, and I look at him, and I just think Clancy Brown. Up next is Dr. Rumi Chiba, and this is gonna sound weird, but I can imagine her being played by Anasawa, aka Kate from Modern Legacy of Monsters. She needs someone to be both young, but also needs to have someone who has like empathy toward the kaiju. And she's already technically been in a Godzilla project, so here this week actually her like really sink her teeth into this role. Up next is the main villain of this series, or the closest thing to it, Lament, aka Jocelyn Braid. right out of the gate, I can think of no one else but Kree-sama. And Kree has done some pretty good villain roles. Like, I could just imagine her, like, monologuing here and there. Her saying Lament's monologues in the series. Up next is May, who got aka Biolantress. I can imagine her being voiced by Tati Gabriel. Why? Because I thought it'd be funny to have like an evil Willow Park. But you also need someone who can come off as vulnerable, but also come off as a little bit sinister. And I think Tati would be a good voice for May. Next, Captain Caraniero, Wagner Mora. If you saw his performance as Death in Puss in Boots 2, I can imagine him as sort of like this sly, also dangerous Spanish pirate. Next up is Dano Nishi. Kyoneyon. He can do a good character who's this sort of I forgot the word for it. This sort of uncertain kind of character. That you know that he's doing this for the good of humanity, but it's very unsavory at times. Like what he did to create Jason and May. And he also kind of played this character like in Ultraman Rising with Onda. Seriously, Nonishi gives me Onda vibes from Ultraman Rising. Just place him in Godzilla. Next up is Marco. And I can think of like Philomar. Like he can also switch up between being this nice friend kind of guy, but also there's a sinister vibe to him when he's communicating to his superiors, who I am very certain are the Exilians. Next up are Harry and Angela, Fred Tatasciore, and Kerry Wahlberg. Because they already technically kind of played these characters in My Adventures with Superman with Ma and Pa Kent. Just transplant them to Godzilla. So anyway, that's my headcanon list for the Kai-Sei era voice actors. Next will be the Dead Zone series, which will be a little shorter because there's not a lot of characters in that. So, anyway, see you later. Take care. Bye.